It was simple. We dreamed of traveling the world, one last adventure before going our separate ways. In just the first few days, strangers invited us into their homes, fed us hot meals, and gave us dozens of hitchhikes. People were so kind and hospitable, and not once did a single person even hint at expecting something in return. So we asked ourselves, what can we possibly give to them? What do we have to offer? And on the fourth night, we shared our dilemma with another traveler. He looked us square in the eyes and said, show them that you really care. Ask them about their stories. Ask them about their journeys. That's the greatest thing you can do for them. And in that moment, our entire motivation for the trip changed. It was no longer about checking boxes off a list of what we wanted to do or places that we wanted to see. It was no longer about us. It was simply about people and their stories. Because there are too many stories that go untold, and we wanted to hear them. This journey is about other people's stories, but you can't show and tell each one of these stories for only a minute and actually do them justice. And as much as I want to share the meaningful actions that we had, their stories are not mine to tell. But what I can do is give you a glimpse into the stories by telling one that up to this point is untold, ours. After our freshman year of college, 3 of my best friends and I road tripped down to New Orleans to visit my brother for Jazz Fest. During that visit, he shared wild tales from his post-college road trip that he took the summer before and encouraged all of us to travel. Though we dreamed of taking the same kind of journey after we graduated, he helped us realize that beyond exploring new places, it was most important to discover ourselves along the way. We started out by taking shorter trips to dozens of U.S. national parks and cities on college breaks, and we spent our summers in places like Japan and Nigeria. But we all knew that when the time came, we'd take that trip around the world.
And it's our pleasure to welcome you to Honolulu, where the local time is 5:25. And for your safety, please remain seated with your seatbelts fastened. Keep the aisles clear till we are parked at the gate, and the seatbelt sign has been switched on.
Totally get that in there. The trip began with selfish motives. We wanted to go on the greatest adventure of our lives, to play, to have fun, to experience all that we could and make lifelong memories. Those aren't necessarily bad reasons to travel, but it didn't take long for it to become clear to us that the trip had to be more than that. After the first few people we met, we realized that they all had a story worth hearing, a story worth stopping for and listening to. All we had to do was ask them. Since we didn't have a lot of money, hitchhiking was our primary mode of transportation. Not only was it economical, but that's how we met a lot of people. Hitching everywhere wasn't even part of the original plan, or lack thereof. Apart from flights and using my car for the road trip portion, we hadn't thought about how we would get around from place to place at all. It was a major planning oversight. We'd saved up money from plane tickets and food, but after that, we didn't have much left. Certainly not 6 months worth of transportation costs. So dumbfounded by our lack of preparation and curious about how successful hitchhiking might be, we stuck out our thumbs next to the Honolulu airport on the first day. Within a minute, a local driving an open-air Jeep pulled over and told us to hop in. Before long, we were miles away on a beautiful beach watching the sunset. That night I said to my buddy Taylor, this is what we're going to do every day for the next 6 months. When the sparrow and the seagull fly, every day turned out to be a surprising adventure. From being offered places to sleep to joining a woman to visit her father in the hospital, it was startling how quickly people invited us into their lives. We would lie down at night in a stranger's home laughing and ask ourselves, how did that just happen?
I thought that I liked hippies and I would consider myself a hippie until I went out to Colorado and they all consider themselves hippies.
Hey, that's a whole other level.
Great, dude.
Boy.
Hanoi Bay.
Well,
This is my favorite view, dude. This is my. Go, do it.
Oh.
Just do it. Hurry up. This car's gonna kill me. And, yeah, another alien fruit, man. Dude, there are so many fruits out here, man. I just gave my boss a soursop the other day.
Yeah?
Dude, he's lived out here for like fucking 15 years, and he's like, what the hell is that? I got soursop, man.
Life became simple quickly, and we stopped worrying about where we would sleep each night. That's when the real adventure started. A fellow traveler told us, "It's obvious that you're backpacking. People know that you don't have anything to give, and they don't expect anything from you. They're helping you because they want to. Give them gratitude and show a genuine interest in their lives, and anything can happen." We knew we could learn from each person we met, and as we began to hear their stories, our own prejudices crumbled. It was a relief to know that we could rely on people's kindness to meet our needs. But the kind of traveling we undertook is not glamorous. We lived simply and endured many trials. It might sound like an extended free vacation, but we spent many nights sleeping in our tent and cooked countless meals on our tiny backpacking stove. Sometimes we went weeks without showering. It's a difference between being a traveler and a tourist. Roughing it versus paying to be on the guided tour. Stepping out or staying in your comfort zone. From an outsider's perspective, it's easy to idealize traveling the world. But even in the beginning, it never felt like a vacation. It was our life, real, gritty, and challenging. Friends back home saw pictures of remote mountain ranges and sunsets in paradise. But our news feeds didn't show the low moments, bedridden and puking from altitude sickness, or the countless hours waiting for a hitch in the pouring rain. Most memorable for me was the 17-hour standing room only train ride through China, worsened by over 100-degree temperature. We constantly abandon our subconscious expectations, like thinking long-term travel would be one continuous bliss. It takes an overwhelming amount of logistical preparation and an even greater willingness to be spontaneous and adapt when things don't go as planned. If you don't learn to slow down, it leaves you exhausted and quickly results in burnout.
Life is short, even when you're 10 feet tall. Take a moment, if you happen to trip and fall.
Taylor and Will are my best friends. They were on the first trip, and I hope that they'll be on the last. We know what to expect from each other, and we seek the same caliber of adventure and ruggedness. Travel on the West Coast was always our dream road trip, but we knew 2 weeks wasn't nearly long enough to do it right. When I switched majors my sophomore year, I realized that I'd finished school a year after Taylor and Will. We thought our dream of traveling together after school was over. But on the cusp of my delayed graduation, they were both finishing jobs and I was able to get 6 months off from my future employer. To the surprise of all of us, our schedules fell into place. I skipped walking in graduation for an even better commencement. The day after my last exam, I boarded a plane instead, and our dream trip around the world began. Taylor Hendrick has a contagious energy he spreads to those around him, and he is always ready for an adventure. He is not only the ultimate wingman, but he is very often the leader people want to get behind. Taylor turns wild ideas into reality. He's jumped off of 100-foot cliffs and hiked inside an active volcano. There isn't much you'd have trouble convincing him to do. Will Littlejohn is a nomad at heart. He has a unique ability to understand people and the world around him. Will can be quiet at times, but you can always guarantee an exciting adventure with him. Whether he's working West Africa or taking another trip to Alaska, his wandering spirit draws him all over the world. For me, I come alive by embracing new experiences and facing the challenges that follow. I'm a thrill seeker and have a love for going where no one has been before. The others inspire me. I'm always keen on blazing my own path. Is the place I have to be. Is the place I have to be. As a group, we all naturally relate well and like to start up conversations with strangers that we meet. On this trip, we decided to steer these connections by asking the question, what makes life meaningful for you? Few would disagree that human life is meaningful, and for the three of us, the God who created us wove meaning and purpose into our very existence. Early on in our friendship, we developed a total trust in each other, which made us great travel companions for the parts of the trip we did together. When we arrived in California, it sunk in that I wouldn't be home for another 5 months. A long journey like this isn't remotely similar to a spring break trip or a 10-day vacation. Its longevity turns the trip into a lifestyle. You wake up feeling like yesterday was Saturday, today is Saturday, and tomorrow will also be Saturday. We found that seeing fewer places for longer amounts of time is our favorite way to travel, as opposed to rushing to many places in a jam-packed itinerary. From road tripping throughout our first 4 years together, we realized that doing too much in too little time left us both physically exhausted and wishing we had tried to accomplish less. Since flights totaled over half of our expenses, traveling places for longer periods of time also created a manageable budget. We love the great outdoors, so we focused on locations with lots of hiking and multi-day backpacking trips. This minimized our time in transit and maximized our time to explore, taking in deep breaths and relaxing in the solitude of creation. woke up every day expecting to have discussions with people far different than ourselves, usually from other cultures and often with contrasting beliefs than our own. When we listen well, we realize that the wise, unknown people are those that don't strive to be heard. Ironically, these individuals often understand powerful truths of life. Suddenly, the purpose of our trip gained a new dimension, not only to listen, but to seek the wisdom of these people's yet untold stories. One woman we met was my mother's friend of a friend out in Oregon who loved to climb, rock, snow, and anything in between. When we first connected on the phone, we didn't know if she was 25 or 45, but soon we were together gathering gear and hiking up the side of Mount Hood. We learned much about life from her that day, but even more about climbing, since she was the only one of us who had ever been mountaineering.
Where are we at today? We're on the side of Mount Hood. It is shortly after midnight. We have begun our trek up that way. Bridget, hello.
Hello.
The shine on
everybody.
Bridget.
Shalom.
And we got a main man, Mike, right here.
Hey.
What's good?
You may contain the urge, run away, but hold her down with soggy clothes and breeze blow. Jitters in your fever, scream me again, never kiss me again, never kiss stop. Do you know where the whoppings go? They go along to take your honey. Do you know where the whoppings go? They go along to take your honey. She bruises calls, she splutters pistol shows, hold her down with soggy clothes and breeze blows. She's morphine, queen of my vaccine, my love, love. Do you know where the whoppings go? They go along to take your honey. Do you know where the whoppings go? They go along to take your honey. You may contain the urge.
We didn't see many police in Reykjavik. It seemed very safe.
Oh no.
Oh, you're getting dropped off.
No, you're good.
Supportamy G? Super. Dzięki.
When traveling with friends, it's easy to rely on each other and not meet new people. We discussed this issue before the trip started to make sure that it wouldn't be our tendency. Instead, we intentionally sought out strangers, and as a result, we befriended both Americans and foreigners from all around the world. As long as we kept an open mind, the connections we made while traveling were meaningful and fruitful. They brought a fresh perspective and gave us a glimpse outside of our own comfortable world.
Some courage is well overdue, I believe so.
Conveniently, new friends also provided incentives to make their hometowns into our future destinations by promising free accommodation or to be our personal tour guide. If you ever come to my city, they said, look me up, you have a place to stay. Although appreciative, we would always make sure their invitation wasn't in vain, because we were very likely to take them up on their offer. One hiker we met in Yosemite hosted us in Stockholm. Another guy we hitchhiked with in Iceland hosted me in Munich for Oktoberfest 4 months later. Most everywhere we went, we had some sort of connection. With Facebook and email, it's easy to keep in touch. We often wondered how much more difficult it was to travel before smartphone, while now we can write a message to somewhere anywhere in the world and receive a response just minutes later.
What you breathe for, what you wake for, what you bleed for.
It's crucial to develop a go-with-the-flow mentality when traveling in foreign places. Plans often go awry, but these situations turn into the most surprising and enjoyable moments of all. Like convincing the police to give you a hitchhike instead of a ticket. The things you could never pencil into an itinerary 3 months beforehand. Even if it doesn't turn out well, at the very least, they make great stories. You tend to forget the times when everything goes according to plan. No one remembers the details of a normal commute to work, but after hitchhiking hours in the wrong direction into a beautiful mountain village, I remember every single detail. It's in these moments, when I grow by overcoming challenges, that I enjoy traveling the most.
Because then they can show off their English. And it is amazing, like the young people speak amazing English, like they're natives.
Wow.
You know, and they just love to show it off.
Really want to show you our
Nice!
I just want to drive fast.
Is this you singing? Yeah, good voice! Nice!
Dancing on the dance floor with my buddies from the gym.
Bring the muscle. Are you ready, Iceland?
Oh yeah! Set the dip. Set the dip. Set the dip. All we really needed to keep us moving were flights in and out of different places with 3 to 4 weeks in between. We didn't book hostels, rent cars, or buy bus passes. This was partly because of money, but more so for the opportunity to be totally free. If a person asked me to come along somewhere, I had no excuse to decline. All I had was a backpack stuffed with a journal, camping gear, and camera, and I was not bound by an inflexible schedule. Lucky for us, the hitchhiker's thumb is a universal sign. Though there were usually a few places we wanted to hike in each country, we let people take us wherever we could get, learning that without commitments, the best things happen.
Crazy landscape, many river crossings, very cold feet, lots of blisters. What a great day.
We let ourselves get into some tough situations, unknown, uncomfortable, and sometimes even scary. But traveling thousands of miles only to check into an English-speaking hostel and drink all night in an American-run bar seems like a waste of time. People thought we were crazy hitchhiking around the world, telling us that we'd be robbed or killed. But while hitchhiking in over 10 countries, we experienced the opposite. Those who picked us up often showed us exceptional kindness, taking us 50 miles out of the way or inviting us back to their home for dinner. Despite the apparent risk, hitching was one of the most enjoyable parts of travel. When we got into a car, we'd first exchange names and find out if we could even speak the same language. Even if we only planned to go a few miles, it was likely that within the hour, we could be back in their home feeling like a part of their family. Towards the end of our time in Iceland, we got to the point where frugality became a competition, and we felt like failures if we spent any money at all. We got preoccupied with continually making one day's adventure wilder than the next. When we realized that, we realigned ourselves with the purpose of the entire trip, not to see the world for free, but to hear other stories and spread joy to those we met along the way. Our last Icelandic video.
Time.
It's time.
Oh snap! I don't want to smell this.
Don't smell it.
You ready? Best Buy. Dude, this is totally expired. You want some shark? Shark. Yeah.
You should.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You like it too?
Tried it. We haven't tried it. Are you local Icelandic?
Yeah.
Yes.
So we got it.
You haven't opened it even?
No, we just got it.
Is it bad?
Smell it.
The smell is just going to
Yeah,
freak you
the
out.
smell is
Yeah.
worse
So
than
don't smell. So don't smell.
All right.
All right.
Everyone grab one.
All right. Please. You took a small piece.
Yeah. It's on purpose.
Oh.
All right, on
All right,
three.
one,
Ready? 1, 2,
two.
3.
Oh. I don't like that.
It's a good texture, dude.
I don't like that.
You don't like it? It's better than the sheep.
It's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
So I don't want to mean to offend if you really like it.
It's not that bad.
But you go to town on that. Like you can finish it.
Yeah, help us out. I'll have one more.
You're loving it. You really
good.
like it?
You know how they make it?
Yeah, they rot it in 10 months in the sand.
For how long? Yeah, I don't know how long, but
In the
it's
sand?
fermented, right?
Yeah, they bury it. Maybe.
They pee on it.
Swallow it.
No.
Pee on it for real.
We heard
That was a rumor too. I
It
don't.
sits in pee.
No, we asked to look at the picture and they said that was not
Your
true.
ID? Swallow,
It's
bro.
probably-
I did swallow. I did swallow.
That's the old way to do it.
Yeah.
Now they do it like
Okay, I had 2. I'm
mechanically.
done.
Okay.
I'm
good.
done.
So-
Thank you so much.
It got to my nose and I was like, yeah.
After 2.5 months of traveling mostly with friends, I spent an entire month on my own in China. It was not only the most foreign place I'd ever been, but also where I experienced the lowest and highest moments of my trip. Since I'd traveled solo before in other countries, I knew it doesn't take much time to find companions. They're everywhere, on buses, in bars, at trailheads. It can be so easy to meet people that it's actually more difficult to find privacy. Just hang out in the lobby of any hostel. Or if you follow a tour in your guidebook, you'll likely run into the same backpackers over and over again. In a world of ever-increasing Wi-Fi hotspots and constant connectivity, unplugging for a few days is a powerful and renewing experience. But in time, most solo travelers do experience loneliness. Experiencing something special, like watching the sunset on top of a remote mountain, often feels empty if you don't have anyone to share it with. To be somewhere you've anticipated for years, you want to scream with joy and look around for anyone else to share the moment. You want someone else to understand, to feel what you felt, and to see what you saw.
This love endures forever. Let the redeemed of the Lord.
But in the first week of China, I was barely able to talk to anyone, and I was always lost. Simple tasks like finding a train station became a frustrating endeavor. I knew China was going to be challenging, but there were situations I didn't think I could overcome. I struggled to breach the language barrier and soon realized that China was not like any place I'd ever been.
You call us home through the wilderness, far beyond the gates of death. Oh, Lord.
So after 10 days, I finally reached my breaking point. I had the solo traveler's blues. I had just spent 7 hours sleeping on the floor in a humid, cramped train amongst baby diapers and trash. I was trekking to Yangtze, the mountains that inspired visuals for the movie Avatar, but I was unhappy. As I walked alone exploring one of the most stunning places I'd ever seen, I recalled some of the final words of the movie Into the Wild. Happiness is only real when shared. So I left. All of that changed after my bus rolled into Yangshuo. When I finally found other outgoing adventure seekers, my outlook of China transformed. I once again heard people's stories, and what ensued became the greatest adventure of my life. Each day for the next 3 weeks, I met someone unique, someone beautiful, willing to open up to me and let me be a part of his or her life. The absolute worst week of the entire trip was followed by the best 3. The confusion and chaos I had just endured allowed me to appreciate and more fully embrace the joy of the new adventure I was now a part of.
Keeping time with everyone.
Most of the friendships I made in China began with a simple question like, where are you going? And it often turned strangers into new multi-day travel partners. In one instance, I asked 2 locals in Beijing for directions, and all of a sudden we were exploring hidden back streets around the city together. On another occasion, I asked a group of 5 Chinese guys to join me hiking for the afternoon, and we ended up staying together for 4 days. In each group I encountered, we all contributed unique value and input to the group, and when it stopped working, we'd exchange contact information, hug, and go our separate ways. Since making new friends is one of the best parts of traveling, leaving them is one of the hardest. Spontaneous travel allows strangers to experience significant, sometimes life-altering highs and lows in a short amount of time, so friendships grow quickly and develop deep roots. It's hard knowing that you'll eventually part ways with these new friends, but it's not a good excuse to avoid making them.
It's turning around to long days of trying now.
Oh my gosh.
叫他下来，来到有对象。
不想要，现在就要趁早，我没有非要已经到了。
有会。点人家的这个单词词汇量还是少啊。可以吹口气。
Just got kicked out of a car, realized I hitchhiked an hour and a half in the wrong direction. It's in the middle of nowhere. Good news is it's beautiful and I've got 4 days to get back. You know, amazing Chinsha River. These mountains are insane. Sure, sometimes throughout the journey, I yearn for more structure. A plan each day I could follow, or a tour guide I could pay to show me around. It's nice to turn on autopilot for a while and shirk the responsibility of figuring everything out for myself. But I didn't follow a plan, because I believe in the same kind of adventure as Yvon Chouinard, the founder of Patagonia. He said that the word adventure has gotten overused. For me, when everything goes wrong, that's when the adventure starts.
Another hazy May, take a round in the rain, gone hungry for the wind. Here's a part I just lose everything, and I cracked a spark just to hear you sing.
After my return, it didn't take long to realize that going on a long journey like this didn't satisfy my desire to travel. Rather than being able to find satisfaction in settling down, it ruined the appeal of 9-to-5 stability. People told me a few times to stop delaying the inevitable, that I was jeopardizing my career by taking time off. What I really think they were saying is that I needed to start working toward the American dream, begin a desk job, and establish myself. I'm not against security or practicality, but I'm also not willing to compromise my passions, travel and adventure. There's no turning back. I saw too much of this diverse and inspiring world to not continue exploring it, and I refuse to mistake money and comfort as the only avenues to happiness.
Shining up, aiming at the sun, just a light year from us. Hop a cab right and we're on.
When I think about the way travel has transformed my view toward others, it made me question why I was trying to get traveling out of my system anyway. It has become an inseparable part of my lifestyle. Ultimately, I know that traveling will never fulfill me, but it teaches me, molds me, and gives me an opportunity to spread the hope of Christ. It's a chance to look deep inside myself and into others. There's something about traveling in a foreign place that breaks down walls and opens up people to grow.
It's coming down. Everything was up, it's coming down. Coming down. lost in the dream, or just the silence of a moment.
After China, I was thankful to reunite with friends. On this segment, Silas and Will. I had grown tired from the hordes of people and persistent stimulation of my senses. I needed silence. We headed far north into the Arctic Circle near Abisko, Sweden to the King's Trail, a remarkably remote and pristine hike filled with reindeer and snowy peaks. Other than our own voices, we heard only flowing rivers and crackling fires. We felt refreshed by the cool air and simple routine, waking up and going to bed in tune with the sun's rising and setting.
I saw a soldier man, and he looked his eyes like they were rings. Ooh, but it's hard, I can't resist. You may risk it all, you'd risk it all for the memory.
Along the trail, we met a hiker named Joachim. Like us, he was searching for silence, and even more, searching for answers. He'd been wandering on the road for 4 years, still asking the same questions he started with. We connected with him because we were searching for those answers too. Where would we be in 5 years from now? What about 20? What should I do with my life, and who do I want to be?
When we were the same, we stroked our arms and we wore them thin. Ah, the sadness, it was there. But you don't miss it, man, you got it all like a memory. Now it's living under your skin. Love's the key to the games that we play, but don't mind losing. Love's the key to the things that you see, but you don't mind moving. It's the door in the dark of the way. It's the key in the dark for the spark. Love's the game all the way the same. Oh.
Flashlights around everywhere, and as a good old German I said, let's see what happens here.
Yeah.
One man approached me, our car, and he has no uniform on. He was really close, but he had a pistol in his hand.
Oh, wow.
And he came towards us and said, this is bad. This might be not good. But I stood there and waited, and he was a policeman, obviously. He said, get away here. And there was a highway, and there's this middle stone in the middle, you know, and I took the car, went over there.
You jumped over?
Yeah, jumped over on the other side. But then again, I was a good German, said, after we had done 100 meters or so, now I stop again, I want to see what happens there. So we saw that it was a shooting, and the next day we could read it in the newspaper.
Yeah.
It was because of drugs. Drugs were...
Yeah, but you said this is Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was Puerto Rico. Here, you get mushrooms like hell.
I saw it written and I saw it say, the Bingo Moon is on its way. None of you.
the people of Norway were some of the kindest that we met during our journey. A pleasant surprise, because every time we hitchhiked, those giving us rides told us to expect cold, bitter people. They said it would be a rarity to meet friendly locals, but this was not at all the case for us. Strangers gave us rides and invited us to their homes even on our first day in the country. We were always excited about the chance to get to know them better and to step in their lives in such a personal way. But undeniably, we also thought about the likelihood of a hot meal, shower, and if we were really lucky, even a bed to sleep on. After long travel days, these simple pleasures of home lifted our spirits tremendously.
Zoe written and a Zoe say, being the moon is on its way.
In our experience, Norway was one of the easiest places to hitchhike. Locals introduced us to secret spots and were quick to let us join in on their adventures. After crossing over countless fjords and admiring many old sailboats, we started dreaming of hitching by boat. We mentioned the idea to a local family we were staying with, but they told us that it would be impossible.
Well, came down here this morning and saw a little steam coming out of this thing, so we asked the guy who popped his head out of that cabinet, and he was like, yeah, we're sailing south, eventually down to Denmark. And then, so we were like, oh, you want to give us a ride? And so he's like, yeah, we'll probably leave either this afternoon or tomorrow morning. So we're like, okay, we'll come back in a little bit. Now we're here, and we're about to leave for wherever they're going.
Savior, please.
What do you think of Norway so far?
I've met Norwegians and Scandinavian people all my life. I sort of knew things about them, but to come to where they're from is enlightening. It teaches you a lot more about people.
Going back to the place where you lost started from. I see my old friends trying to...
Toward the end of our time in Norway, my mother Lori joined us for a week. Having a family member along gave us a taste of home. We were used to low-budget backpacking, but she wanted to treat us to relaxation, so we compromised by splitting time between camping and renting an Airbnb. Lori's willing to go out of her comfort zone. She hiked trails longer than what she thought she was capable of, and often initiated conversations with fellow hikers. It is people like her who approach each new location as an opportunity to learn that never stop loving life.
See the changes in you. Make no mistake, there's plenty close to me. Never, never, never going back. Never, ever, ever going back. Going back to the place where my love and I met. I can give her all I got, she can wring my little neck, just like old times, just like old times. Going back to the time when I didn't have a thing, just the tap of my foot and a little song to sing. That'll do just fine. Yeah, that'll do just fine. Tell me when I come. Take me anytime you like. Come. Take me as I am, or I might become. Never, ever, ever going back. Never, ever, ever go back.
It's been a series of really fortunate events. Bought a plane ticket last second to Geneva, Switzerland, and decided to go hike the Tour de Mont Blanc. And on the plane I met these two guys. They had a trail map out, and I asked them, hey, where are you going? They said, oh, well, we're going towards Koyamare if you want to ride. So they let me come, these two Swedish guys, and fell asleep in the car. And then I woke up at this hotel, and the manager said, hey, I've got an extra room downstairs. Pretty nice, shower, everything. So had a good night's sleep, and yeah, gonna start the trail.
faces are long and grim. Souls are feeling heavy and faith is growing thin.
When you really embrace the unknown, you get to experience the best adventures of all. As my journey was winding down, I reflected on the trip and thought about what returning home would be like. After 6 months around the world, I did eventually grow tired of the unfamiliar. I missed being known and part of a community. Each day blurred together as conversations became routine with other travelers. Where have you been? How long have you been traveling? Where are you going next? It seemed like a competition to see who had the most impressive travel record, and I was tired of playing. I also thought about my friends and how much I looked forward to seeing them. But at the same time, knowing that few would ever fully understand the trip or perhaps really even care. So much had happened, and the growth that occurred within me was difficult to articulate. Our consumerist culture, marked by indulgence and instant gratification, has been convinced that if we buy more stuff and make more money, then we'll be happy. But traveling showed me that money and things actually have very little to do with happiness. Comfort insulates us from many unpleasant situations, and more unfortunately, it shelters us from having authentic cultural experiences, inhibiting the struggles that cause growth. You don't necessarily need to travel across the world just to find happiness or to grow, but you're able to gain a vital perspective on life when you intentionally step outside of your normal routine. Storm's rolling in, it's starting to rain pretty hard, and I found this shelter. Unfortunately, it's not open, of course, probably only wintertime use, but at least I'm dry under this teeny roof. Well, as you can hear, rain's coming down real hard. You know, I just had to man up, set the tent up. I was trying to stand under the shelter, but I was just getting soaked, so I went for it. So inside and out, my tent is just destroyed. But I'm gonna try to get some sleep and make it into Chamonix tomorrow. You know, maybe the weather will turn. Well, when I woke up this morning, I was wet, totally socked in, and I'm still kind of both, but it's starting to clear up a little bit. It looks freaking sick. Yo! So I'm pretty much in a cloud, but you can tell it's starting to look sick. Some clouds over there, but hopefully it'll clear up, get a better view of these bad boys.
I don't understand it. It's just man, killing 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 man. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I don't.
From my own travels, I learned that above all, what makes life meaningful is the same no matter who you are or where you come from. People want to be known and cared for that is to be loved. Odd question.
Go on.
But if you were to hitchhike to Los Angeles, which way would you go? Hello.
Hi.
This is Justin.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, good morning in Chamonix. Look at this beautiful view. Whoa. Pretty amazing. And the man of the day right here. While hitchhiking through Europe the last months of the trip, I challenged myself to keep the camera stowed away and to soak in the precious moments that I had left. And thus I was reminded that no matter how many places you see, it's the people that make this world beautiful.
Where did
25, trying to get to the gas station. We are about out.
It's this exit.
Gas for less. Gas for less. Gas for less is only for less because they don't have any.
They don't have any.
So further up the street, I don't know where to go.
Oh my gosh, well, he just wants to run out. I did not say anything. But like, there's no gas that way. And the sign said, gas for less. And they didn't have any.
Tension's running high.
Where are we going? Gravy train number 1. So we're 2 of 2 in. 2 of 4 in. No, I'm straight.
Hollandia.
Yeah.
Hello. How are you? I would never call it. Oh, really? Yeah. So I can throw it out the window and we can still use it. Why is the driver holding the camera?
Just hold tight, no time we can get it back.
He's going around.
When the skies come crashing on the road, just hold tight, no time we can get it back.
The freaking steak. To the dome piece by frail Littlejohn over there.
He's down here, didn't even look up.
Yeah. Hey, you got a steak? Oh, sorry, I just stabbed you in the head with it.
That's SpongeBob.
Backstabbing's for losers. Head stabbing.
Where are we, Mr. Big John?
Everyone knows, right?
Thanks for keeping us safe. I appreciate it. Bye.
Which is the way Thank you. For this way or?
No, this way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Get that heavy duck. Get that heavy duck. Get the heavy duck. Heavy duck. Who's this hippie over here just peeing on the ground? Who that dog?